Bay! Hey, listen, I hope that you watched my Christmas jingle last week, and I told you our Tommy the Pirate Brady would go down in history, breaking the touchdown records for the most passing touchdowns in his season. That was awesome. Listen now, it is week 17, the final regular season game for the Buccaneers against those pesky Falcons. And I'm going to tell you what, I am so excited for our Bucs making the playoffs for the first time since 2007, beating that train wreck of a team in Detroit, those Detroit Lions. Listen, that's a sorry team if you ask me. You know, listen, as of now, the Buccaneers have the 5th playoff position. With a victory over the Falcons, the Buccaneers would play the NFC East Division winner. And that game's going to be either at Washington, New York, or Dallas. And if I have my choice, I would much rather see them play Washington or the Giants. You know, listen, both those two teams, they're not the greatest. Washington's been playing really tough on that defense, but Dallas has been kind of coming on these last couple weeks. They do have a ton of offensive weapons, and you know they do have playoff experience. So I would much rather see our Buccaneers play the Giants or Washington. I think that would be a much easier game for us. Now, the last time Tampa Bay played Atlanta, it was way too close for me. I was very disappointed. Falling behind Atlanta in the beginning, and then the Bucs have to play their asses off to come back and get back in the game in the second half. And they pulled it out. Yeah, they pulled it out to win 31-27, but it wasn't the prettiest victory in the world. This time around, I hope to see the Buccaneers jump on the Atlanta Falcons right away, hit them hard, and put the game away quickly. I don't want to be sitting on the couch wondering if we're going to lose the game. I want to be sitting here, jumping for joy that we held on to that 5th spot. If we don't hold on to the 5th spot, our playoff game could potentially be a lot tougher. So that's why I want to see them win the game, no injuries. And listen, last week, Brady looked great. The offense looked awesome. Mike Evans had another whale of a game. This guy, Mike Evans, is great. He's one of the best Buccaneers. I love that guy so much. And, our defense was outstanding. Yes. I know you're going to say, hey, but it was the Lions. Yes, I know it was the Lions. They're not a great team. But you know what? Most importantly, I'm looking forward to the same performance this week against the Falcons as they did it with the Lions. Again, hopefully no injuries, so we can go into the playoffs with all of our players and be ready to battle. I mean, the playoffs is what counts. We want to win that playoff game, that first game, and get into the next round. And you know what? Just make all of Tampa Bay so happy in January. That's what I'm talking about. Now listen, last week I had my picks, and this week we have whole new picks. And listen, week 17, we got Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I'm going with Tampa Bay, of course. The big game here, Dallas and the Giants. You know what? I want the Giants to win the game because I'd much rather see Tampa Bay play the Giants. So I'm going to go with the Giants over Dallas. I think that'll be a tough task for the Giants to beat Dallas. Next game is New York Jets at New England. I'm going to go with New England over the Jets. Minnesota and Detroit. Again, Detroit's horrible. I'm going to take Minnesota over Detroit. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. What a big game that is. The Browns, they've improved so much, but then they go out this past week and lay a stinker. You know what? I mean, Cleveland has to win that game. I'm going to go with Cleveland over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh didn't convince me that they've solved all their problems. Yes, they did win the game, but at the same time, I'm going to go with Cleveland over Pittsburgh. Baltimore and Cincinnati. I'm going to take Baltimore over Cincinnati. That should be an easy win for Baltimore. Miami and Buffalo. Now, this is an interesting game. Does Buffalo rest their players? Does Buffalo go out and go after the game? Miami needs to win the game. You know, by the way, Miami just moving up those power rankings. They're the 12th rated team right now. Buccaneers are 8th. I mean, we're pretty fortunate to have 2 winning teams in the state of Florida right now. So, but in this case here, I think Buffalo is going to win the game. Seattle and San Francisco. Seattle's got a lot on the line. Win the game, possibly get home field advantage. So I'm going to take Seattle over San Francisco. Arizona and Los Angeles. The Rams, I'm going to go with Arizona to win that game. Jacksonville and Indianapolis. I'm going to take Indianapolis over Jacksonville. Tennessee and Houston. I'm going to go with Tennessee. The Raiders and Denver. The Raiders don't have much to play for anymore, but I'm going to take the Raiders over Denver. Kansas City and the Chargers. I think it'll be a close game, but in the end, I think Kansas City wins the game unless they rest all their players. Green Bay and Chicago. You know, Green Bay needs to win the game just like Seattle does. So, but I'm going to take Green Bay over Chicago. New Orleans and Carolina. Again, New Orleans needs to win that game. Really, New Orleans, Seattle, and Green Bay, all of them are playing for home field advantage in that first week bye. So again, I'm going to go with New Orleans over Carolina. And last but not least is Washington and Philadelphia. You know, Philadelphia can play to be the spoiler in this game, but I'm going to go with Washington over Philly because I think Washington want to prove that they belong in the playoffs. So I think that they're going to win. Now listen, I hope you've enjoyed all the videos. Thank you so much for watching. And you know what? I'm going to see you next week because we're going to the playoffs and we're going to talk about the playoff scenario, talk about our team. We're going to talk some more Buccaneers football next week. Have a great New Year's and be safe, and I'll see you next week.